I think a mistake a lot of these creators are making is that they're relying solely on the lifestyle content, which one is a very saturated space, and then two, unfortunately, not a lot of people probably care about your life. We had a viral video, but now nothing is working. How can we continue to innovate?
First thing you should do is reword that viral piece of content as many times as you can. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, just keep pumping out.
How much money does a UGC creator make?
Great question. It's actually kind of astonishing / scary. Some of our top creators make...
What makes Playkit different from other TikTok agencies?
I think what makes Playkit different is that I started out as a creator myself, and I think the reason why like Playkit existed now is because I was doing it and it was working, but I didn't like it. I didn't have fun, and I was like, how the heck do I get out of here and scale myself? And luckily met Nick, who has a smart business mind. He's like, we can productize this. As a founder, what is the best way to find creators?
You have two options. The first is marketplaces. The other option, which I actually recommend even more so, is actually Thank you guys so much for the response. It sounds like you guys are really liking the episodes. Super happy and appreciative for your support. We've had a numerous amount of DMs on our Instagram about just different questions, ranging from questions from founders and questions from creators. So we are going to pick the top 8 questions to run through them, answer them as best as possible, and hopefully they're helpful. So we're going to split it up, half questions from founders, half questions from creators. We'll dive right into it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, first question. As a founder, what is the best way to find creators?
Okay, so this is a great question. We get this all the time from founders who are looking to start UGC or any type of organic campaign. What we usually always recommend is you have two options. The first is marketplaces. There's a ton of new marketplaces for UGC creators or just creators in general where you can just put your job opportunity and then people can apply to them. And then if it's a good match, you can hire them. The other option, which I actually recommend even more so than just a marketplace, is actually as a founder posting the opportunity online. And specifically post the opportunity on the platform that you want to post the content on. So for example, if you're trying to look for UGC creators for TikTok, then post the content on TikTok. Just film yourself a super easy video walking on the street or in a car. Just saying, hey guys, I have this app. This is what it does. I'm looking to hire a couple of creators that do XYZ. This is the general pay. If you're interested, please leave a comment with why you think you'd be a good fit. What's going to happen here is naturally that algorithm will shift and spread the content to one, creators that are actually looking for gigs, but then two, it'll actually resonate most with people who actually like the product and believe in the product. And so that'll just be a better culture fit, a better product fit. And I think we'll just lead to better results long term.
Hot tip with that as well. If you are a founder looking for people to create content that don't necessarily look like you, try and find somebody to create that hiring video that looks like the people you want to attract. It builds more trust. Like for me, I used to be a creator back in the day. If a young woman made a video about a hiring, I would so much more likely comment, DM her than if a like 45-year-old man did. Hate to say it, but that is the way of the world. So Get your mom, get your sister, get your girlfriend, and have her make a video for you.
1,000%. And the other thing too is when you start off the video, probably start off with the words "I'm hiring" and then like place it everywhere on the video. So on the text, have it be like the first couple of words that you say. Everybody's looking for a job right now. The market is pretty crazy. Content creation is hot right now. So I don't imagine it would be too hard to find these people. You just got to post a couple of videos and it'll find the right people.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay. Second question. What is UGC and how is it different than influencer marketing or paid ads?
Definitely. Yeah. UGC, we're at a very interesting time right now. I think traditionally, Instagram, TikTok, all the social media platforms were dominated by influencers or just, individual people with their own accounts. But UGC is a really interesting opportunity where different from influencers where they might have a really high following count. Anybody can be a UGC creator. You make a brand new account each time you're posting with a new product, and you just blast a ton of content about it. The great thing about the TikTok algorithm is you can really easily target those people that you want to reach with your content. So it's super easy to go viral, and you don't need a million followers, hundreds of thousands of followers. And it's different than paid ads where you're actually finding these people organically instead of with, targeted ad spend behind it.
Totally. And then is there any difference between old UGC and new UGC?
Yeah, it's super interesting. I think like old UGC is when maybe a creator would just do user generated content for many brands. People would think, like, I feel like I always would see on those boxed waters. I don't know why that's always my example
Totally.
of like hashtag do whatever you want to do with the boxed water. And they post it like a normal drinker of the boxed water would post it. And that was like true user generated content. But now it's more, anybody could do UGC. So maybe that's like not even the right word for it these days, but
it probably isn't. It probably needs a new term because essentially old UGC was, it would be one account. There would be some sort of following, even if it was small, and they'd be posting multiple brands on the account. Now, this new form of UGC and what we do at Playkit, it's more so the creators are making a brand new account for every brand that they're working with. So a little different. It still is user-generated content technically, just a different strategy.
Definitely.
But yeah, we got to come up with a new word. So next homework.
Cool. Third question coming from a founder. I'm posting a lot of content, but I feel like my creators aren't making anything that's going viral. How do I help them improve and iterate?
Yeah. So I think a couple of things. TikTok versus Instagram algorithm it works a little different. The cool thing about the TikTok algorithm is that you actually don't need any type of following to go viral. So even like your first video, if it's done correctly, it can go viral. So I think that's just a fundamental difference between the two platforms that you need to understand, is that with Instagram, you do need to invest a little more time to build up the following in order to get that first viral video. With TikTok, not so much. I think the other thing to remember with content is I always usually break it down into two parts. One is the hook, and then the other is like the actual content or the meat of the content. The hook is essentially what's going to get people to stop scrolling, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're looking at just somebody who's using TikTok and what their pattern of behavior is, they're just scrolling and like they'll usually watch something for the first 3 seconds. And if it's not interesting, next. And they just keep doing that. But essentially what you got to do is you have to somehow create a hook that overcomes their attention in the first 3 seconds. And then once you do that, once they're invested in 3 seconds, then you got to create a piece of content that is valuable in some way, whether it's solving a problem or talking about a hot topic, something that's controversial. Like there has to be some sort of value provided and give like the user or viewer a reason to keep watching. And so I would say just make sure for all your videos you're coming up with a formula that answers both of those problems. Yeah, I think that's kind of like my main take is, and just iterate daily. We at Playkit tell our creators to post 3 times a day, 5 days a week. So you're getting large amounts of volume out. And then every week you're essentially analyzing the videos that performed the best and then understanding, was it like the hook, was it the content, was it the graphics, was it the text, and like really become scientific about it. So if you aren't tracking your videos, make sure you're tracking every single video, track the analytics, and then do an analysis every week, and make sure you have enough volume of videos so that you have a good enough set of data to analyze from. And then just start picking it apart and recognizing patterns. And then hopefully it will lead you to the first viral video. Anything else to add there?
Definitely. Yeah, I think the biggest thing too with teaching your creators is you want to kind of walk them through that thought process. An interesting game I kind of like to play, or I don't know, strategy you can do, is have them spend time on their own For You page and have them take mental note, or honestly even physical note, of what videos got them to stop, and kind of teach them how to think about viral content. They'll quickly notice, like exactly what Nick was saying, this one had a really quick, catchy hook. It made me want to stop and pause, and I watched the whole video. And then how do you inspire them to, create that in their own content? You have to get really prescriptive beyond like the overall coaching. So create handbooks, give them lists of hooks, but walk them through your thought process as you are iterating and as you are making changes to the strategy, because it is very teachable. You just kind of have to shape what that looks like for people.
Totally. And a tip I always give to anybody who's starting off with content creation that's trying to go viral is, after you finish filming the piece of content, look at the video yourself and truly ask yourself, if I was a random person on TikTok and this popped up on my For You page, would it stop me from doom scrolling? And you have to be super honest and transparent with yourself. And if the answer is no, you got to start over. But if the answer is yes, then maybe you got something, and then you should just send it and then test it and see what happens.
Absolutely.
Cool. Fourth question, iterating on content. We had a viral video, but now nothing is working. How can we continue to innovate?
I love it. Yeah, I think that happens a lot. You get a viral piece of content and then you're like, oh shit, nothing's going to go viral for so long. And that's often what it feels like. First thing you should do is reword that viral piece of content as many times as you can. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, just keep pumping out. And I think a lot of times people are like, yeah, but I already posted a video like this. But it's like, your goal is to reach more new people. Like, you're going to be reaching new people. It doesn't matter if some people happen to have seen it before. Like, continue to float on the wave that is so strong. But then in terms of what else you could do for iteration, a big thing that I always tell people is look at the comment section on what's already doing well. How are people responding? Are they telling their own personal stories? Are they sharing pain points? What are they saying they like about the piece of content? And try and make content that resonates with the conversations that are already being had in the ecosystem and in the environment of that viral piece of content. From there, you're able to join in on the community and keep the effect going. So yeah, really get analytical in the comment section and try and pull things out. You'll sound more like the people that you're trying to reach, and often will do a better job that way.
Totally. Nothing else to add.
Sweet. Okay. What is a UGC ambassador program?
Okay, so we spoke a little bit about what UGC is, old UGC versus new UGC. Now, what is a UGC ambassador program? So basically, we're seeing this new wave. It's a new strategy with marketing when it comes to content creation and short form specifically, where they're not just relying on one content creator to make a video for a brand, but instead they're hiring 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 content creators, all producing content for a single brand or company. So when somebody talks about an ambassador campaign, this means that they have dozens or hundreds of TikTok creators posting a large volume of videos every single day. So this is actually something we specialize at Playkit, where we run fractional ambassador programs for different brands. So imagine we take 10 content creators. They're each posting 3 times a day, 5 days a week. At the end of the month, that's essentially producing 600 unique videos that are going out, all for a single campaign. And so essentially what this leads to is massive amounts of viral video, massive amounts of content that's getting flooded on the For You page. And it's almost creating this mini trend, if you will. It's a new style of marketing that's happening. It's big with the startups. It's probably going to go mainstream with enterprise corporate very soon. But yeah, that's what a UGC ambassador program entails.
I love it.
What makes Playkit different from other TikTok agencies?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Playkit, as well as many other TikTok social media startups, kind of grew out of the Twitter space ecosystem. So it was a lot of people like trying to be growth hacky or just hopping on the wave that is this new UGC ambassador program craze. I think what makes Playkit different is that I started out as a creator myself, and I think the reason why like Playkit existed now is because I was doing it and it was working, but I didn't like it. I didn't have fun, and I was like, how the heck do I get out of here and scale myself? And luckily met Nick, who has a smart business mind. He's like, we can productize this. So I think that's how it's a little bit different, where we came from actually doing it ourselves, where other people might just be trying to copycat it. And it's been so much fun in that way, because I know what it's like to be a creator, and it's been so fun to build a community with other creators now, and I don't know, kind of create something special.
1,000%. And I mean, something we always tell people too is, you know, our whole team is Gen Z. We are chronically online. We are on TikTok more than we probably should be. But we don't just like talk the talk, but we actually show and back what we're saying. And so everybody on our internal team is actually posting a video every single day. We're all building up our own personal brand because we want to be in the nitty gritty. We want to understand how the algorithm is currently changing. And we just got to stay up to date with everything new. So that is our team. And that is what makes us different.
I love it. Okay, next question. How do I become a creator and stand out to brands?
So I have a couple of thoughts with this. One, I think go back a couple of years, COVID era, maybe even pre-COVID era, influencers were pretty big. Everybody wanted to become an influencer. And at the time, that space wasn't necessarily super saturated. There was room for growth. And so it was essentially pretty easy to like post a lifestyle video, right? Because a lot of people had unique lives that weren't being displayed online. And so I'm not going to say it was easy, but I think it was easier back then to, build up this brand and become a creator. Now, I think the space is getting a little saturated. So I think a mistake a lot of these creators are making is that they're relying solely on the lifestyle content, which one is a very saturated space. And then two, unfortunately, not a lot of people probably care about your life unless it's super unique and cool and you're doing something really dope. But at the end of the day, that's 99% of these content creators that are trying to become. My recommendation is focus on 3 pillars if you do want to create a personal brand for yourself. So this is all in the context of you're trying to build up your own personal brand. 1, create content that either provides some sort of value. 2, create content where you're essentially inspiring people to do something. And then 3, I would say education of some sort of like knowledge or topic that maybe you are very knowledgeable in and you want to share to others. I think if you kind of hit on one of those niches and essentially create some sort of, value that people can take away and makes them want to watch the video more, you'll essentially have a better retention with your audience, right? And they will trust you and follow you for more content similar to that of what you were producing. I think the other way of becoming a content creator these days is to do UGC for companies like Playkit or other similar agencies where essentially you say, hey, I don't have a following and that's fine, but I'm really, really good at promoting other brands and I can show you how. And the reason this is really unique is because all you got to do is create a new TikTok video, pick some sort of niche of brand. So whether it's fashion, beauty, design, architecture, whatever it may be, just pick a make-believe product, create a new TikTok page, and then start pretending like you're getting paid to create content for that product. And then see if you can actually build some sort of following or get views on that content. Then once you have that, which again, it's totally free to make, it's just time you have to invest into doing that. Take that portfolio and then go to other brands that are in that same niche or category and be like, hey, this is what I did for this brand, even if it was fake work and I didn't get paid for it. And you don't even have to mention that, but show them that you can actually take an account from 0 to 1. And then they have no reason why they shouldn't hire you, right? Because you're essentially showing them that you can do the work and put in the work. That's what I would recommend. Or if you want to just work with an agency like Playkit, which is honestly probably a little easier, you can just apply. We'll train you. We'll actually take care of connecting the brands with the creators. And you have a lot of fun and learn a lot while doing so. So that's my answer.
I love it. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think biggest things that brand looks for beyond views and whatnot is take screenshots of comments, take screenshots of if people DM you and share that with brands when you make this, like pseudo account. People or brands want to know that your videos will actually drive conversion. They'll drive customers to them. So try and show them as much proof of, yeah, I can make a video go viral, but I can also bring you customers. And I know this because I've done it before. Things like that are really, really powerful. So create a wins folder for yourself. That's something I tell people a lot if you are doing any work. And just start to document all the things that you are doing that would be helpful to show someone later on. And keep that in a little space. And sometimes it's fun to look back on as well.
Totally. Okay. Last question. How much money does a UGC creator make?
Great question. It's actually kind of astonishing / scary. Some of our top creators make 10, 12K a month, which is nuts to me. That's like what full-time software engineers make. More money than I'm making, that's for sure. But it's also really exciting. We have people who will quit their jobs that they don't like. They feel like they have a lot of cushion to explore their interests, explore starting their own companies. College students who are able to pay off loans, who don't have to worry about working a second job, can spend more time on their education with their friends. So that's definitely on the higher end of things. But I think realistically, a lot of companies pay somewhere between $125, $175 a week for content. And then on the upside of that is you got a lot of bonuses for if you get high view count. And then in full-time positions, a lot of companies right now are hiring for full-time content creators, face of the brand work for like $200,000, $300,000 a year. And I think it's a really exciting opportunity for young people right now who might have had a little bit of experience as a content creator, but it's very doable. They want young people. And if you can show that you can get in front of the camera, know how to iterate on content, and be that face of the brand as well as strategy driver, then there's a lot of potential upside there.
100%. I mean, guys, if you're in college and you're listening right now and you have a phone and you're able to take quality content and you're able to follow directions, there is money to be made. You just have to go out, find the opportunities, find these agencies, find the brands, reach out, and then a gig will come. But you have to start now. You have to post that first content out there. You can't just wait for your first brand deal. You actually have to have a portfolio to show. And so, yeah, the first step is just filming that first video, even if it is a pseudo account with a fake brand. You have to start somewhere. So, yeah, money to be made.
I love it. I
No
love
doubt.
it. Thanks. Well, those were all of our questions, but I love reading all the DMs. It's so fun for me to like get in there and answer you guys. So keep them coming. DM us on Instagram. And
I think that's it. Peace.